He was like, मैंने कभी तुझसे झूठ बोला है क्या? I was like, yeah, मेरे बाप ने कभी मेरे से झूठ नहीं बोला है. True.
This happened when I was probably 6 or 7. I would throw a lot of tantrums. One day I'm being my extremely adorable, naughty self, and my parents decide to tell me that I'm adopted. And I said, haha, that's not funny because, how can I be adopted?
My dad made me believe that if I didn't eat my food, worms would start appearing in my stomach and they would start growing out of my ears, my nostrils, my mouth, and my eyes as well.
I had to complete my Hindi homework. I had like 5 muhavre and I had to, construct sentences out of that. One of the muhavras was Nach na jane angan tedha. And my dad comes up to me and he's like, what are you doing? So I showed him and he says, muhavra hi galat hai. I was like, and he said, it's actually Nach na jane bengan tedha.
Fun fact about me, a lot of people think that my sister and I look very alike. If I was adopted, I would not look exactly like her. In fact, my grandmother once said that my sister looks like me with a wig. So my parents, being the badasses that they are, tell me that my sister has been adopted too. And they adopted both of us 4 years apart from the same set of parents. I don't know, it doesn't even make sense. But then I started crying and I cried and I cried and then my parents realized it wasn't funny.
So basically every time during mealtime, it would literally be like, oh, there are 2 worms here. And I would be like, oh, no, give me food. And I would eat. And he'll be like, they're gone. But I can feel 3 more worms here. And I would be like, oh, I have to eat. And he's not even a doctor, okay? And I'm just eating and eating. And even after I was full, I would just keep eating. I would eat food and I'll go running to him and say, Papa, please check my stomach for worms. I'm not sure if I have any more worms left. And now I have a phobia of worms.
Nach na jane angan tedha loosely translates to a bad workman always blames his tools.
What does Nach na jane bengan tedha translate to?
If you don't know how to dance, your aubergine is tilted. I don't know. He was like, मैंने कभी तुझसे झूठ बोला है क्या? I was like, yeah, मेरे बाप ने कभी मेरे से झूठ नहीं बोला है. True. He's like, if you don't believe me, go ask your teacher tomorrow. And the next day in Hindi class, our teacher was like super sweet, okay? She was the nicest. Hi, Suchitra ma'am. And she, she walked into the class. She's like, hi, everyone. She's like, okay, who didn't finish their homework? And I was like, me. I didn't finish my homework. She was like, why? What happened? I was like, no, one of your questions was wrong. Your muhavra is wrong. I was like, it's not Nach na jane angan tedha. And she's like, okay. And I was like, yeah, it's Nach na jane bengan tedha. And the whole class starts laughing at me, including my teacher. And she's like, listen, if you didn't want to finish your homework, you don't have to lie about it. And I was like, no, my father said. She was like, nah bro, your father's just lying to you. I was like, no teacher, my father told me. And she was just like, shut up.
I can't even look at photographs of worms. I get very scared, which was not a very helpful thing when I went to college and did my degree in zoology and had to dissect worms. I think I am the first student in the history of Hansraj College, Delhi University, who dissected worms without touching the worms. I learned that it's not possible to have worms coming out of your nose, your ears, or your mouth. I'm scared of snakes as well. According to my 5-year-old imagination, snakes are just bigger worms with fangs.
Surprisingly, I took it as a joke later. When we grew up, we do manage to troll our parents every day by just existing and being ourselves. I've used this situation to my advantage multiple times later, where I've bought it up so that I've gotten things which I wouldn't have gotten otherwise. Guess who trolled you, mom and dad? Guess who trolled you?
What I learned from this was that I should never believe my parents. Now I don't trust them. Everything they say is like, what are you trying to do?
Worms do not come out of your ears if you don't eat food. That is not possible. Other things are possible, but worms will definitely not come out of your ears or your eyes or your nostrils or your mouth if you don't eat food. No, that's not possible.